So how's this for another roadside stop? In Camden, South Carolina, we found a Revolutionary War battlefield. Let's check it out. An historic treasure stumbled across, as the best sites are. No ultra-modern visitor center here. It's worked into an existing house, the Cunningham House. There are guided tours. It looks like some antique stores I've been in, but full of relevant souvenirs.
Hey, I'm Denny Methy. This is the historic Camden Revolutionary War site. Here we have a bunch of buildings that are from the Revolutionary time period. Most of them have been reconstructed to a sense, more refurbished for a better term. Only one of them has actually been reconstructed, and that's because it burned down, which is the Kershaw house.
Hi, chicken. I love chickens. They have personality. So I got tickets. It's $5 a piece to get in, look around. And going to get Stacy. She's still in the car. Fun. Lots of interpretive boards or waysides. Hey look, stock options. Wow, this would really blow. Wow, this blows too.
Yeah, still pretty uncomfortable.
Wow, that's kind of cool. I've always wondered what it would be like to be stuck in some of these. Okay, so stocks are not fun.
You're
Thank you very much for doing the camera. What's your name?
Courtney.
Courtney?
Hi.
Thank you, Courtney. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Where is Stacy? I suggest hitting pause to read these boards. This battle was a devastating defeat for America. Yeah, well, this was finding this was quite accidental, but really cool. Kind of a eureka. It's nice to see so many original houses here. It seems pretty well preserved, though I don't know how much was here originally. But the waysides give the entire history. You may need to pause. A lot. Here is, of course, a reconstruction of part of the palisade wall. This answers the how many structures question. Wow. You can see where it went on. I catch up with Stacy. She's gotten ahead of me. Fun. There's a sign. I got some readouts. I'm going to take a wild stab and say these are not the original posts that were in the ground. There are frequent reenactments carried out here, as in many of these historic sites. There are calendars online with all of the dates and details.
You say earthworks enough times, it starts to sound weird.
That's true.
I don't know about this house.
There appears to be a marker. The Kershaw Mansion reconstruction. So look at this house. This is the structure that had burned and was painstakingly reconstructed. It's an identical copy, as it were. This place is sweet. It's a gigantic house. People lived with style back in the day. It burned a lot earlier than I thought. 1865. The porches in these old mansions are amazing. Used, I imagine, for socializing, especially with this class of society. Imagine the parties. Camden was an economic center during the time of the Revolution. Cornwallis made the town the principal supply post for all British operations in the South. This house became a British headquarters while Kershaw was in exile. The Kershaw House. Camden bounced back quickly as an economic hub.
Kershaw Family Cemetery.
Stacy has discovered there is a cemetery.
Oh.
So there's visitor parking. So apparently if you keep going.
Other side of the road, I guess. It's all part of the same plot of land at the time.
No, I think it still is. Like there's, like it's over here, right? Like there's a Kershaw house. Right? Is that where we are now?
See, I was thinking that was a cemetery.
Oh, no. Right back there.
It's always interesting to see an open area like this and knowing it used to be full of structures long gone. Such a peaceful place, once a hot spot of military battle, strange to envision. Got another historic marker up here. A couple of them. More earthworks. We're headed to see the Kershaw Family Cemetery.
Yeah, you gotta go up past this street and past that other street. It's probably on this corner.
So we're gonna have to do the cemetery in the car because it apparently is several blocks away. So we're walking back. It gives us a good chance to show you some perspective of the place.
See the bride or the beauty queen on the stairs? You can't really see
Oh,
her
yeah.
'cause she's in a white dress
I do see
on
her.
white stairs. Yeah.
You definitely cannot see her on the GoPro footage. Pretty neat. You think about this, the 1700s where none of this other stuff was around. No stadium, no neighborhoods, just this house and the fortifications and their little town as it was back in those days. Some of the other houses and buildings have been made into museum exhibits too. This place has a film room.
Martial law prevailed. The question whispered in the streets was no longer who was hanged each day, but how many. In April 1781, American General Nathaniel Greene, who had replaced Gates, returned to the state. Fort Camden, under the command of Francis Lord Rawdon, was his primary objective. The fighting Quaker arrived in the vicinity and realized the futility of storming the garrison. On the morning of April 25th, some 1,400 Americans camped on the crest of Concert Hill were preparing breakfast.
If you want to see the whole film, you have to come yourself. The whole history is told in these exhibits. Neat. Here is the archaeology of the Kershaw house site. Cool. This is how the house site looked back then. Fascinating. And each of these houses turned museum have their own identity. It's a similar story with this house. I love old houses like that. I think they're the neatest thing. We didn't spend the time to ideally record this place as it was a stop on a long road trip, but at least we know it's here now. Some of these are locked. You can only go on them on the guided tour. So we're back toward the back to the gift shop and all that, and we're gonna cruise to the cemetery. Really is about as much as we can shoot. And if you want to see anything else about this place, look it up online or come here.
We're done.
We are done. We have a long drive ahead of us.
You feature on your own, damn it.
We seem to have found the cemetery up a bit, well on the other side of that stadium. And here we will see, before we leave, the final resting place of those whose home this was a long time ago. Wow.
There's a lot of graves here. You want to trample all through.
You can't really tell where the graves are. Look at this. Not only is it broken, but it's broken so long ago it's weathered off and looking smooth. It broke so long ago.
I always think it's a baby grave when it's just got a lamb on it.
Oh, I bet it is. Very small. So long ago the writing is about gone.
1866 to, right? 55? I cannot read those years.
1856 to
80?
1856.
Oh no. That's another baby. Hmm.
Wow.
No, it's fall. There's a lot of leaves. There's a gate. I don't know if they will walk through.